friends, welcome to our channel Story Scout. In this video, we shall try to explain the story of the Korean TV series Just Between Lovers, aired in 2017. It is about the lives of survivors who lost their loved ones in the building collapse years ago, their pain, their struggle, and how it affects them. So, the story begins 10 years ago with a happy Ha Moon-soo, our female lead, along with her younger sister, who was a child artist. They go for a shoot at the S Mall. Ha Moon-soo, a teenager then, was hoping to meet her new boyfriend at a coffee shop in the same mall. But unfortunately, the building collapses and her sister dies, and she gets trapped under the debris. Back to the present day, Moon-soo's mother, who became a drunkard after her daughter's demise, runs a woman's bath with Moon-soo's help. Her mother despises her for leaving her sister behind to die and surviving the tragedy alone. Her father runs a noodle shop, but her parents are no longer together. Moon-soo struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder and gets frequent nightmares. But she has lost most of her memories of that day. She is specialized in making architectural models. Moon-soo, being very hard-working, gets a full-time job at the same construction company that had previously built the S Mall. She also has a wheelchair-bound friend who is a cartoonist. On the other hand, Gang-do, the male lead, 10 years back was a young 16-year-old aspiring national soccer player who was waiting for his father in the coffee shop. He gets crippled in the collapse as an iron rod pierces through his calf muscles. He loses his father, and to add to his misery, his demised father, who used to be an electrician at the construction firm, gets wrongly accused of the building collapse, and hence Gang-do and his little sister aren't even given the financial compensation for the tragic accident. In the present day, Gang-do is frustrated and a short-tempered youth who, after having lost all his dreams, is struggling to manage his pain due to his old injury and finds it hard to get a regular income job, and hence does odd jobs to pay the loan sharks and to support his sister's education, who is studying to be a doctor. Due to his short temper, he picks up fights with people often. Gang-do has three important people in his life. One, the grandmother, a loan shark who helps him financially, who gives him company and much needed love and attention. She even offers him medication to manage his pain. She also runs an illegal clinic. 2. Sangman, his neighbor, a naive and innocent but mentally underdeveloped fellow who loves him like a brother. 3. Mari, the lady running a nightclub for whom he sometimes works. One day, Gang-do, after getting fired from his job, gets a call from the club lady Mari, who informs him that the staff of hers was assaulted by a customer and asks him to get financial compensation by pretending to be the brother of the staff and approach the director, Young-Taek. He does threaten director Taek. On his way back, he meets Moon-soo on the stairway. Both are leads being victims of building collapse has pathological fear of elevators and hence never use the stairs no matter how tall the building is. It also happens to be their first meeting after 10 years. Gang-do also has a chance encounter with Seo Ju-won. Ju-won was the son of the lead engineer of the mall. Back then, he was a fresh graduate who was helping out his father at the mall construction when the building collapsed. Later, his father committed suicide after taking the blame for the building collapse. All three of them survived but lost their loved ones. Ju-won is now the head of the architectural company that Moon-soo works for. Earlier, he was engaged to Young Young-jin, the daughter of the previous director of the construction company, but their engagement fell apart after Ju-won's mother gets married to Yoo-jin's father, making Yoo-jin his stepsister. Presently, the director Young Young-taek is a brother of Yoo-jin. He is suspicious and petty, who belittles Ju-won and his mother on every occasion. Ju-won is working on a new project to replace the former S Mall. Gang-do also ends up working in the same construction site. One night, after an ugly altercation with some people, Gang-do gets beaten up and lies unconscious on a narrow lane. Moon-soo, upon finding the injured, takes him to her father's place and attends to his wounds. Next day, he wakes up to recall the girl to be strangely familiar, but couldn't figure out. On the construction site, both Moon-soo and Gang-do gets uncomfortable seeing the memorial stone of the building collapse. Later on, Gang-do at night demolishes the memorial stone in secret. Gang-do starts frequenting Moon-soo's father's noodle shop to know who exactly helped him that night, but her father doesn't reveal it's her. Soon, he understands that Moon-soo is the noodle shop owner's daughter and that she was working on the same construction project as him. Soon, they keep bumping into each other at work and outside. Ji-won and Moon-soo develops a rather friendly relationship. He gets a feeling that she is one of the victims of the building collapse. Ji-won figures out that Gangdu had destroyed the memorial, but instead of reporting the matter, he makes a deal with Gangdu to be his spy on the construction site to give details of what is happening there. Meanwhile, Eugene tries to flirt with Ju-won to get back together, but Ju-won is no more interested. Both Gangdu and Moonsu are now working together on the same project. Once, he even helps her when she falls into a drain tank. Eugene seems to suspect there was something going between Gangdu and Moonsu. Meanwhile, Ju-won starts to like Moonsu. Gangdu soon realizes that Moonsu was the girl that he had seen through the glass separation just before the building collapsed 10 years back, and that she was the girl he had befriended when they were stuck under the rubbles. But to his disappointment, she doesn't remember anything about the past. Moonsu is assigned the task to make the new memorial. She takes up this task along with Gangdu, for which they meet the families of the victims, which takes a toll on them emotionally. They slowly open up about their experience of the collapse and its aftermath. An otherwise reserved Moonsu lets out her feelings about the collapse and what had happened to her life because of it. They help each other heal and realize that they have each other who understands the pain and struggle of being a survivor. Moonsu one day runs into grandmother and ends up taking her to the hospital when she faints. Grandmother bonds well with Moonsu. Grandmother, though suffering from brain tumor, tries her best to hide it from everyone. When problem starts emerging in the construction site, Gangdu and Eugene teams up to help Ju-won. Meanwhile, Ju-won starts developing feelings for Moonsu, but she by then had already fallen for Gangdu to the displeasure of both her parents. Slowly, Moonsu regains her memory and realizes it was Gangdu who was there with her during the collapse. When grandmother passes away, she leaves her wealth in the name of Gangdu, her property worth a fortune, and with that money, Gangdu repays all his debts. But unfortunately, it's soon discovered that due to overuse of pain medication, Gangdu is suffering from liver failure. Everybody is heartbroken. Gangdu's sister, Moonsu, and Sangman all tries to donate their liver, but due to one reason or the other, none of them could. Meanwhile, Gangdu and Moonsu finish the work of the memorial. Moonsu asks Eugene to clear Gangdu's father's name of false accusation in the building collapse, which Eugene does for the sake of a friendship with Gangdu. By the end, Eugene takes over as CEO of the company, firing her incapable brother. Seojin-won gives us his firm and starts a small architectural company. In the end, it's shown that like a miracle, Gangdu receives a liver from a dying patient, and presently he is preparing for an exam for construction supervisor. Moonsu is also happily living with her mother. Her father goes back to being a truck driver and closes his noodle shop. Gangdu's sister, as a way of payback, decides to work in the clinic that grandmother used to run for illegal immigrants. Meanwhile, Eugene's brother decides to move forward with his relation with Mari, giving all characters a happy ending. So that's all, folks. For more stories of TV dramas, please subscribe to our channel and support us. Thanks for watching.